His talk is called English is My Third Language. Please welcome Elan Javanfard.
Today we gather here to discuss a crucial aspect of the mental health system, to discuss the importance of our words. Power of our words is such an important aspect of the mental health system. My family historically was born in Israel, and they immigrated to Iran over many, many years ago. My father moved from Iran to Irving, Texas. Why a man would move to Irving, Texas, living in Iran his entire life is a story for another time. He landed in Iran in the 1960s with $10 in his pocket and less words of English in his vocabulary. As luck would have it, he found a job quickly as a busboy at a bar near the old Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Having that job, he learned that every time the word touchdown was spoken, his tips would go up. So my father taught us as children that all of us needed to learn the importance of the power of words. As children, we learned that growing up in our home, Farsi and Hebrew were the spoken languages. And English was something that we only spoke at school. And football became an important part of our lives. We learned from Bubba, our father, who always taught us to ask exclusively for what we needed in life and not for what we wanted. Word choice mattered to him. And those words shaped who we were and made us into diehard Cowboys fans. Word choice matters in this field because it can significantly impact how your message is perceived by your audience. And with only moments to spare and connect, our word choice in the crisis field matters most. As Mark Twain eloquently put, the difference between the right word and the almost right word is the difference between lightning and a lightning bug. And oftentimes, word choice can be lost in translation between what we mean to say and what we end up saying. Another critical aspect of word choice in the mental health system is the fact that we oftentimes cannot articulate emotions effectively in complex situations. Oftentimes, people expressing crisis struggle with articulating their emotions. And as first responders, it's our duty to utilize language that is meaningful and impactful to help them adopt that. By utilizing language that is empowering and helps them convey their challenges, we can identify and minimize the stigma and challenges that surround mental health crisis. By employing non-stigmatizing language, we have the ability to help them understand that it is an important aspect of reducing the challenge that's in front of them. Language plays a pivotal role in reducing the struggle that people are facing. Language, such as compassion, such as showing non-judgmental approaches, enable individuals to be able to be comfortable, to be able to express their feelings freely and openly, and help them not feel misunderstood and not feel misheard as well. In the Hebrew language, the word for crisis is the word mishubar. The root word for that word is shavur, which comes from the word fracture, like fracturing your arm. To heal a fracture, we reset the wound and we provide time and space for healing, similar to what we should do when somebody's experiencing a crisis. In the Farsi language, the word for pain is dard. The word for suffering is zajr. In the word pain, pain is something that happens to you in Farsi. Suffering is something that you carry with you. Pain is something that happens to us. Suffering is the meaning we add to it. Suffering is optional. Pain is something that happens to us. As the Persian philosopher who grew up in my family's hometown, Hafez, once said, "The words you speak are the house that you live in." Education is key. Utilizing language that is appropriate and making sure that we know the words that we should say versus the words that we shouldn't say in crisis situations will help us connect with our clients and our consumers in a more effective way. An example of that would be differentiating between what we call the people we work with. Patient traditionally is a term that's used most commonly in medical settings. It connotes a medical system model, which creates a relationship with people that has a power-archy approach, where there's somebody with an illness and there's somebody who's there to make sure that they get well. In other settings, people use the term client. Client connotes a model of a system where somebody is there as a therapeutic environment, where there is some collaboration involved, but oftentimes the client system has a pay model structure associated with it, where it is predicated solely on money being attached between individuals. In certain residential environments, the term that's utilized is guest. Guest is commonly used to create a more welcoming and a hospitality-like environment, an environment where there's more of a focus on recovery and comfortability to reduce that sense of stigma and foster more of an enabled sense of support. Another simple example of language that we can help shape and change our words is the idea of the emphatic but, something that many of us have used before in our language. Thank you for coming, but you were late. You're doing the best that you can, but you can do better. A simple word change and language change there is something that can help be powerful. You're doing the best that you can, and you can do better. Precise and clear language is vital during crisis moments. Miscommunication and ambiguity can escalate misunderstandings and escalate situations further. Crisis responders must ensure that their communication is unambiguous and easily comprehensible, particularly during high-stress crisis situations. So during those moments, we need to be mindful that we are thinking. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And is it kind? As George Orwell wrote, if thought can corrupt language, then language can corrupt thought. The significance of word choice in this field cannot be overstated. Our words have the power to inspire, to instill confidence, hope, and promote healing, and they can often break down barriers and reduce stigma and forge meaningful connections. As the Jewish proverb goes, loose tongues can be worse than wicked hands. And as my children know, and my future children, which are on the way, know, in our house, word choice matters, even if it means it makes us Cowboys fans. Thank you very much.
Elan Javanfard.